Good morning, everyone. This is Financial Literacy 101. And today for Stock Talk, we're talking about Ford, Airbnb, the Dogecoin killer, Shib, Coinbase, and Bitcoin. Now, a lot of these, especially when we talk about cryptocurrencies, except for the Shib the Dogecoin killer, Elon Musk in the Saturday Night Live and some of his posts have literally plunged Bitcoin as well as Coinbase by more than 30%. And let me tell you, I believe that was a good thing because it allowed a lot of investors to get in at a very low price point. I believe that it plunged to down to $39,000 per coin. And a lot of you like, well, low cost investors are getting inside of this coin, meaning that you can just invest more because Bitcoin is still on the trajectory of reaching almost $100,000 by the end of the year. So let's get into it. Let's see how we can make some money off this coin. All right, so when we're discussing a lot of these coins, what we have to understand is that major investors like Tesla, who has a large position in Bitcoin, when he said those words, I definitely believe that Elon Musk knows exactly what he's doing. Remember, he got in trouble, was it 1 or 2 years ago, about some of the comments he made regarding Tesla. And his words are very powerful in the stock market. And here's the thing. We allow people like Elon Musk the power, the authority, and positioning of convincing if it's a good investment or bad investment. But at the same time, I think that it's not as sinister as we may think. I think that he's allowing a lot of people to get in at a lower price point, and we really need to understand that. And believe me, again, Bitcoin is already coming back already. So to me, it's not a big thing. But first, what I really want to talk about is Ford. Okay, what I really want to talk about is Ford because I believe that messing with Ford, you can actually make some money. Now, this is the first time that you may hear me guys talk about Ford because for a long time, Ford has been very, very static. Now, over the past 5 years, as you can tell here right on your screen, Ford has been down 5%. And as we get closer to a month or a week, we should really see Ford coming back. So the past year, Ford has been up. Ford has been up 133%. Very phenomenal. Past 3 months, Ford has been up 9%. The past month, Ford has been down, up 9.3%. The past week, Ford has been up roughly 8%. And then today, Ford is up again. And we're going to get into that. And we're not going to spend a lot of time on these stocks, but we are going to go through them, okay? We're all going to go through them. We're not going to look at what Ford is all about. You know what Ford is all about. Ford is a very, very old company when it comes to making Ford Mustangs, Ford pickup trucks, etc. You already know about Ford. It's from the 1900s, okay? The dividends in Ford have dropped dramatically. I remember when Ford dividends were around, I want to say anywhere from 9 to 13%. Now they're down under 2%. And again, that has a lot to do with Ford losing a lot of money by bad decision making. Let's just say it for the most. But now, with this Ford Lightning, their first electric F-150, which is their most popular, their most sold pickup trucks, the Ford Lightning is now coming on the scene. And what they're doing, they're actually competing against Rivian, okay? Rivian is another electric car company that has been making pickup trucks that's been doing very, very well. They've been making functioning and outdoorsy and pickup trucks that people want to buy, okay? But Ford is like, you know, we're going to come in, we're going to undercut the competition, okay? And that's why they've been doing pretty well. Now, as you can tell here, people are saying buy at 45%, hold at 50%, and then only sell at 5%. And let's see what the bulls are saying. The bulls are saying Ford is focusing its investment where it gets the best return, which is why mostly exciting North American car segments and production in South America is the right move in our opinion. Ford has tried to remove some administrative layers, and Jim Farley becoming CEO brings the opportunity for the stock to rebound. It goes on to say some other stuff that really doesn't pertain to the stock, okay? Here are the quarterly earnings. So they're doing pretty well in this particular quarter. Now, let me tell you, this is why Ford is doing well. This is why. Because Ford is going to be selling this Ford F-150 Lightning from $40,000 to $90,000. We're going to take away some key points. It says here that Ford says its new electric F-150 Lightning pickup will be profitable when it arrives at a U.S. dealership. See, they're already predicting, because of the information that the U.S. government has put out, that they're trying to move literally every car making company from gasoline to electric by the year 2035. And that is essentially going off with Great Britain. The UK is saying they're going to move most of their car companies from gasoline to electric by the year 2030. So we're a little behind 5 years when it comes to the UK. Usually we're the innovators, usually we're the first, but on this particular thing, we have car companies that we only have two. We only have two U.S. car companies. We got Ford, and we got, what's the other one? GM. That's all we have, GM and Ford. They're the only two American car companies, okay? So you think if we got Chrysler, Dodge, no. That's all under Fiat, which is Italian, okay? So we only have two American car companies. It also says pricing the vehicle will range from about $40,000, so look around $43,000, $44,000, $45,000 for a work truck, to about $90,000 for a high-end model. And what most people are going to do, because I live in Texas, so there are a lot of people with pickup trucks. They're going to get a pickup truck that's anywhere between $50,000 and $65,000. So meeting it right in the middle. Good morning, Prime X. It says that the pickup, which Ford officially unveiled Wednesday night, resembles the automaker's current F-150, but includes new interior and exterior features, okay? This is somewhat what it's going to look like. So it looks like a regular Ford F-150, but it's going to be electric, okay? I don't want to bore you with that, but here's a good picture of it, okay? They're really trying to mimic their old style. They're trying to keep that lineage inside of it. Moving right along, we're going to talk about Shiba, okay? I like to call it Shib. And I've been looking and I've been trying to find where can we essentially buy this token, okay? Buy this token. And one of the platforms, and I really haven't dug deep into it, but since I just want to give you the information, you guys can do your research, is you can go to Uniswap, okay? You can go to Uniswap, and what I've been learning is if you have Bitcoin, you could essentially sell and exchange and convert some of your Bitcoin into Shiba. So this is one of the ways you can get into the Shiba token. And I believe as we've been following this token, this is where we've been doing Dogecoin, that it essentially will become the Dogecoin killer, okay? This is just another dog. It's just another meme. They really hasn't went with the premise of starting off as a joke. It hasn't really started off as a joke, but it's a meme token. But as people can tell, these meme token has been really showing profit to a lot of people. People have become Dogecoin millionaires, okay? I really haven't heard any Dogecoin billionaires, but definitely Dogecoin millionaires. And there's gonna be some Shiba, and I've been trying to research to see if anyone has come publicly say, hey, I made $1 million off of Shiba. But I guarantee, guys, they have over 1 trillion tokens. If you see this long number right here, over 1 trillion tokens of Shiba coin. So definitely, I'm going to invest in this. Again, I need to do my research. And here it is on on Coinbase. Okay, that's Shiba, but it's not listed on Coinbase. Again, you have to go to Uniswap or maybe Binance if you have a global account. And over the past year, this has been Shiba. So I'm pretty sure when this coin first came out, okay, that people made some money off it. I don't know why Coinbase is not showing any money here, but up here they're showing it, okay? I don't get that at all. But as you can tell, this coin has been up 778,000, okay, percent this year. Let's see, nothing, okay? I'm not even saying the coins where the price point is. But nonetheless, we see the market capitalization. The market capitalization of Shiba is already at $4.6 billion. $4.6 billion. And listen to this. The circulating supply, as I told you, is over 1 trillion, is actually at 4.8 trillion dollars. I probably butchered that because it's really unfathomable that this has that many circulating coins. That means essentially that if you invest, let's just take for instance, if you invest $1,000, and I know somebody's going to do the math and say, man, you was off a couple of 100,000. Okay, Again, that's why I have a calculator. But anyway, if you invest $1,000 in Shiba and it reaches up to like 11 cents, because right now, as we're looking at it, it's only a fraction, okay? It's only a fraction of a penny. Let's just take, for instance, it goes up to 11 cents. I mean, essentially, you would be 100,000 there in a matter of minutes, depending on how it explodes, okay? But just like Dogecoin, someone popular can come out like Elon Musk or Mark Cuban or Bill Gates or Warren Buffett and say, hey, I believe that Shiba is a Dogecoin killer, and I guarantee that this coin, this token, is going to explode. But again, with that comes a lot of risk. Just as well as Dogecoin, as we start getting into Coinbase, okay? Since we're dealing with cryptocurrency, we're gonna go right over the Bitcoin, we're gonna go right over the Coinbase. Elon Musk spoke death into Bitcoin and Coinbase, but I believe it was a breath of life for people who are really trying to make large profit margins. Now, the people who made the most money, in my opinion, okay, mathematically speaking, are those who saw the trend of Bitcoin dropping before its lowest point, meaning that they made a profit at a certain margin, and then they sold before it plunged down 30, 40%. And then at those lowest lows, they put the exact same amount of money in, meaning they had a larger position. But take this with a grain of salt. If they bought at a certain point and if it dropped below that, then they didn't make any money. Meaning that if you bought in at 45,000 and it dropped up to 60, it went up to 50, and then you sold before the amount that you essentially bought those coins at, then it dropped down to 39,000 and you sold before that price point, and then you bought in at that amount, then you made a lot of money. Did that make sense? I'm just saying there's a lot of profit that people made. Now, for those who wasn't investing in Bitcoin, hopefully when it dropped, you invest inside of that coin, because now it's ticking back up. So let's move on. Let's move right on to Bitcoin since we're talking about it, okay? Let's move right on to Bitcoin. So let's just go with the past month. Look at this. So this is what I'm talking about. Bitcoin on May 6th, we're still in May, okay? 2 weeks ago, Bitcoin is up to 57, okay? 57. Let's just say you bought Bitcoin. Let's say you bought Bitcoin at $10,000 or $11,000, right? Okay. Then Bitcoin went up to 58, where we at? 58,000, almost 59,000. And when it hit 59,000 or 58,000 here, 58.7, you sold, okay? You sold. And as this coin began to drop, see, you wouldn't have been losing any money. If that, okay? You wasn't losing any money at all. So let me show the past week. And right here, oh, it dropped down to $35,000. With the amount of profit that you made because you bought in at 10 grand, okay? When you bought in at 10 grand, you shouldn't have sold any of that Bitcoin. But, I say that, if you bought in at $35,000 or let's say $36,000, and then when it got to $59,000, and you sold it at 59,000, and then when it dropped at 35,000 and you bought back in, there was a large profit to be made. But then again, for those who were like, oh man, Bitcoin is up at 60,000, man, it dropped to 35,000. That gave you a great opportunity to invest inside this coin. So that's one of the things that you absolutely could have done, okay? And then again, when I look at Coinbase, now, Coinbase IPO just released this month. So, last month at April 14th. And as we can tell right here, ladies and gentlemen, Coinbase came out at a peak at $325 per share. Then it dropped all the way down to $251 per share. Then it rose back up to 301, but not at the same ranking. And now it's been down ever since, especially when Elon Musk said what he said, okay? I don't want to repeat the same words because, you know, YouTube algorithms, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So let's move on to what occurred. Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies plunge on Elon Musk tweets. Okay, it says here that Elon Musk sparked concern that Tesla could sell its holdings of the cryptocurrency before later clarifying that the electric vehicle company had not sold any Bitcoin. Let me tell you something about Elon Musk very quickly. Elon Musk do a lot of tweets. He doesn't come out and verbally say it, but he does come out, except for the Dogecoin when he was on Saturday Night Live. But he tweets a lot. Other people with large holdings and large positions of other cryptocurrencies and stocks, they just let the reporters and rooters report it. They don't tweet it. They just come out and do it. Like, oh, so-and-so sold 1 million shares of Vanguard or something like that, okay? He always tweeting. So to me, he knows the history of his tweets. He knows the influence of his tweets. So he's doing this purposely. I said it. He's doing it purposely. Because here's the thing. He knows his power, authority, and influence inside the market. So for those of you who say you lost money, the only way you lost money is when this was dropping, you sold your shares. If you didn't sell your shares, the only thing you lost was value. That's the only thing you lost was value, okay? Again, the only way you lose money in the market, if you sell your shares, if you trade your shares at a lower cost than what you bought it at. But if you bought it at $50,000 and it dropped to $35,000, the only thing was lost was value, and you just need to be patient and it will bounce back, okay? That's all you need to do is be patient, because again, in a month time frame, Bitcoin has lost $14,000. In a week's time frame, Bitcoin has lost essentially $8,400. And today, Bitcoin has been up $2,300. So you get what I'm getting at. Bitcoin is very, very volatile. I mean, if anybody of significance in the financial markets come out and fart, like say a Warren Buffett just farts and says Bitcoin at the same time, it may drop. If Warren Buffett is eating ice cream and smiling and says Bitcoin, it's going to shoot up. It's going to skyrocket up. I mean, because these are mega mental investors. So anything they do of a positive manner when it comes to investing, that stock or that portfolio or that index is going to shoot up, and then vice versa. Okay, so there you have it. Let's move right along here. Last but not least, we're going to go over and we're going to talk about Airbnb. Now, I gave you guys a stock review when Airbnb first came out, which was this year it was last year, December 10th. And I did a stock review, an IPO release that I said, hey, you should really buy Airbnb. Because when this COVID-19, this pandemic starts to dwindle down, people start to get vaccinated, people are going to go back out in Airbnbs. Now, people are still doing Airbnb regardless of the pandemic, okay? Because people say, oh, we took pre-pandemic, we took pre-COVID-19 precautions. We sprayed the whole place down with bleach and barbicide and disinfect, and we wiped everything down. So it's safe to actually use our Airbnb, okay? So when Airbnb came out, it came out at $68 per share. And some of you didn't invest. I gave you the information, you didn't invest. Once again, I'm trying to make you some money. Let me tell you something. I'm going to go ahead and just do what nobody has done. Let's go on. I can't really reach, bad shoulder on that side. Let's go pat myself on the back. Because I've made more people money on this channel than I've looked at other people's channel, because I don't really look at other people's channel. But I want to make you some money on this channel, because I'm not just going to give you what I feel. I go in and do the research. I look at the innovation. I look at their future projects. I look at their contracts. I look how they're growing their business. I look at this, who are the CEO. If the CEO dies, who's the person under them? What's their history? What's their business? I take about a good 30 minutes to an hour, depending on the stock. And especially with this IPO, I already knew it was going to do well. So if you would have bought in at $68 per share, as we're looking at right here, you guys would have made some really good money. I mean, you might want to be a subscriber. I encourage you to. and give this video a thumbs up. That's a hidden message, so go ahead and do it. But over the course of the 3 months, Airbnb has been down 31.5%. The past month has been down almost 18%. The past week has been up, not even 8%, 0.8%. And then today is actually down. But again, for those who went into the IPO, $68, now today is $137 per share. So you made some really good money, okay? And we know what Airbnb is all about, but Airbnb is actually older than most people think. Airbnb came out in 2007. And, Shiba is supposed to be the Dogecoin killer. Airbnb is the hotel killer, okay? It's the hotel and resort killer. Now, me personally, when it comes to vacation, I like a resort. I want to get up. I want somebody to make my bed. I just want to go to one of the restaurants on the resort and eat. Airbnb, you got to do pretty much everything yourself, okay? Now, when me and my buddy, when we went to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, we had a maid to come in. I think she came in 3 times, and we were there for 2 weeks. And she cooked us breakfast, and she cleaned up, and she washed our clothes, okay? So in certain countries, even in America, you can hire someone to come in to actually pay for it. But in America, a maid, someone's doing all that for you, it's actually going to cost you a lot more money than what you want to pay. But when it comes to other countries, Airbnb is essentially the way to go, because you can hire a personal maid, you can have a butler, you can have a chauffeur, etc., and you can just actually live the life, not on the resort life, okay? Because you have to go about what they're talking about and what they're doing. So when this comes to be, Airbnb is very, very profitable in my opinion. So let me tell you what's one of the things that's actually giving Airbnb more generation and more earnings, okay? Let's see here. We're going to get right into the story right after this. Buy at 35%, hold at almost 56%, and sell at 8.8%. And if for anyone who's new to this channel, my ceiling of an indicator is when analysts are saying sell at 25%. Analysts are saying sell at 8.8%. That's nothing. This stock is very, very profitable, and I believe they will even reach $200 easily. Airbnb's network has reached critical mass scale, supported by its leading booking share of the alternative accommodation market and ongoing expansion to experiences. The mobile application usage is increasing rapidly, and Airbnb has strong global awareness, which aids its roughly 89% of traffic that comes directly and through organic search to its platform. Outsized industries, online travel bookings grow witness the past few years should continue over the next 10 years, excluding virus impact, given low penetration, no pun intended, levels and increased online usage, and Airbnb is well positioned, okay? That's the quarterly earnings. Here's my position. I bought in at, let's see here, 3.3, 490, and then I sold, okay? I sold 2 days later. It was some things I was trying to, how can I say this? It was some things I was just doing an experiment. I do that a lot, and I lost. I lost with this experiment. But here's the driving force that why Airbnb is going to do good, I believe, in the next week or so. Let me move right here. Where am I at? Here we go. So this is what come. I know a lot of you guys have been watching this, and regardless if you agree or disagree, most investors are liking to see this. Here's a science that convinces CDC to lift mask mandates, okay? The decision was guided by scientific evidence that the vaccines have played a major role in curbing both infections and transmission of the virus. So again, I'm telling you guys this to let you guys know that news play a large role in how stocks will perform. And I'm just going to read just a little bit of this. It says the Center for Disease Control and Prevention on Thursday said masks and social distancing are no longer necessary. Think about that. Masks and social distancing are no longer necessary for people who have been fully vaccinated against COVID-19. It's a move that the agency said it was driven by scientific evidence that the vaccines play a major role in curbing both infections and transmission of the virus. Okay, and it says that the CDC director, Dr. Rochelle Walensky, said there are numerous reports in the literature to demonstrate the safety and real-world effectiveness of COVID-19 and vaccines. Now, with that being said, I believe that the only thing that can hurt Airbnb, if they come out with a mandate, which you guys have to be very, very aware of this mandate, because this is going to plummet the stock market. If the CDC or the National Institute of Health, one of those federal agencies, or the WHO, the World Health Organization, said, we put out a global mandate or global policy, or we recommend that restaurants and other businesses, if you're going to allow customers inside of your establishment without a mask, have them to show you their vaccination cards. That will plummet the stock market. I don't believe it will crash it, but it's going to plummet, because what people are going to do, I live in Texas, and it's a red state, and you know how certain people here are about wearing masks, okay? You know what I'm talking about, B1. You know how they are. So they're walking into places not wearing masks. I was in Costco. Some people wasn't wearing masks. I went in Kroger. Some people weren't wearing masks. I went to many establishments, because now that they put this out within the last week of not wearing masks and not social distancing, people are discomfortable. And let me tell you, no one's requiring people to wear masks. Because of the CDC guidelines, no social distancing, so bars are happy, restaurants are happy, because now restaurants were filling their restaurant around 50 to 75%, depending on the space between the tables. Now they say, oh, no social distancing requirements, no mask requirements, full capacity. But no one's requiring, let me see your vaccination card. Because what we're thinking is this. The reason why I am confused and somehow not understanding what may occur in the near future is because if we start asking for vaccination cards, people are going to look at this as a form of discrimination. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna do two compare and contrast. Going back to slavery, 1865, Emancipation Proclamation, after the ratification, blah, blah, blah. Now, during that time, believe it or not, slavery was pretty much still going on until the Union came down, blah, blah, blah. But prior to that, prior to 1865, you had free blacks in the North, and you still had some slavery in the South. When people were traveling to see family members, they had to have their paperwork saying that they were free. They had to have their paperwork. Hey, I'm free, so you can't enslave me. I'm just visiting family, okay? Now, when you go over to Nazi Germany, people have passes too to travel, say, hey, I've been given a pass. So this is essentially what it's going to be. I don't know the exact verbiage of what the card was in Nazi Germany that the Jews were actually using to travel and to show they had some sort of permission paperwork. But nonetheless, people are going to look at like, oh, if you're not going to wear your mask, we need to see your vaccination card. I don't know what's going to occur in the near future, because a lot of people are speaking out against the CDC mandate and guidelines about lifting mask restrictions and lifting social distancing restrictions. But again, you have to start thinking what could occur, all the possibilities and variables that you can think out. Like, well, they probably could start requiring, if you're not going to wear your mask, for your vaccination card. Then that may spew into some discrimination lawsuits because, oh, I lost my vaccination card. My dog ate my vaccination card. Oh, my kids were playing around and tore my vaccination card. All those same excuses that you use in grade school, people are going to come up with so they won't have to wear their mask. But then again, I'm telling you, it's going to be a direct indicator, a direct analytical that is going to plummet, in my opinion, the stock market. I can't come up with the right words because I can just see it. If they come out and say that you need a vaccination card not to wear your mask in establishment, stocks like Airbnb, if they put that mandate on their app, if they put that mandate on their platform, the stock is going to plummet. That's just the way I look at it. Let's see here. Good morning, investing. It says, how do you get into the IPO, or did I miss that part? You definitely missed that part. All of these stocks that we're talking about are already public, okay? It is already public. So at this point, you just have to invest inside the stock. Let's see, Hip Hop West TV. He said, peace, brother. Good morning. Good morning to you as well. So I'm just trying to give you some insight, because the one piece of information that you guys can take to help you invest more, one piece, but there's many parts, okay? It's like a pie. You only get one piece. It's news. It's headline news like this, okay? When they start talking about masks and social distancing no longer are necessary for people who have been fully vaccinated against COVID-19, it's a move that agencies said was driven by scientific evidence that the vaccines play a major role in curbing both infections and transmission of the virus. And one more piece of information that I have is this. If you've been vaccinated, you should still wear your mask. I've been reading a lot of stories of people who've been vaccinated, those who survived the vaccination, that some of them have still contracted the C-19 virus and still have been hospitalized. So the evidence came out, scientific evidence that came out and said, you've been vaccinated either with the Johnson & Johnson 1 dose or the Moderna and Pfizer and the Astra 2 dose, and you may still contract C-19, but you won't have to be hospitalized, and you'll see it be, what's the term where you don't have the effects, babe, the symptoms? Is it asymptomatic? Yeah, you will become asymptomatic. So you'll have it, but it won't affect you. But that has been proven wrong, because people who have been vaccinated, fully vaccinated, either with the 1 dose or the double dose, depending on what vaccine they got from biopharmaceutical company, that some of them have been hospitalized even though they've been vaccinated. So in my opinion, still wear your mask, but when it comes to investments, this is the time to invest. Don't let commentary and rant and reports tell you, oh, Bitcoin plunged 30%. And this, when it plunged 30%, you should be like this with the baby hands. Let me tell you something.
Yeah, money, cash, money.
That's how you should be act all day, every day.
Yeah, money, cash, money.
Because when you don't invest, ladies and gentlemen,
you can't make no money like that.
You can't make no money like that. So when those stocks drop, you should be thinking one thing. Or,
oh, baby.
That's what you should be thinking. This is Financial Literacy 101. Learn money and be inspired. I'm out.